What is that sound that I hear? A note sweet as a summer's breeze. A bass strumming, strumming, strumming. Sounds taking me on a distant ride. I float on a note. Vocal cords liquid and flowing like a flowing stream. Music that sounds notes of joy or sorrow. Syncopated rhythms take me on a journey to distant places in a dream world where thoughts become reality. I float on a note lifting me, bass strumming, strumming, strumming. Miles, Dizzy, Ella, Billy, Louie. What is that sound that I hear? That everlasting sound of pure jazz. Hi guys. Hi. How are you? How are you, Orville? How are you, Stella? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We just had the pleasure of hearing an original poem by Theresa Payne entitled Jazz.
Yes. It was the original poem. It was for a magazine by another producer, Joanne Cheatham, who has at this time now has this jazz magazine, and she had asked me to write something for her, so that's what I came up with.
Okay, well, this is Producer Profile. I'm Stella Winston.
And I'm Orville Nelson.
And as you can see, we have our guest producer, Theresa Payne, who has one of the longest running shows on BCAT.
I didn't know it was that long.
Embers.
That's
it is.
right.
It is one of the longest running shows.
I think, because we started as a playback. It was 4 of us. So we'd all graduated from Brooklyn College together, television and radio majors. And we say, well, why not get together and do something? So that was in 95. That's when we did our first show in 1995. Oh, wow. And 2 of the others, one is now teaching, another one moved to Maryland. But Denise, who was one of my originals, she's still here. She's at BCAT, and she also has a show of her own.
And this is Denise who?
Denise Sutton, and it's Can We Talk?
Can We Talk? Yeah, I've seen that. Now, New Embers is an arts culture show.
Yes, it is.
But sometimes you focus on current events and social issues.
Yes, I do, because I think that's very important, although it's arts culture, but from time to time things happen that I think should be talked about.
Now, we have a videotape of New Embers from the early years.
Yeah.
Can you set it up for us? What are we going to see?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that first tape, it was a fashion show. We did a fashion show.
You remember the artist?
Excuse me?
You remember the designer? Or?
Yeah, it was Rafe. He's an African designer, and in fact, he's now on Fulton and Vanderbilt. And in fact, this is one of his garments.
All right.
Beautiful.
It is
Great
gorgeous. You're always so well put together, Theresa.
Thank you.
So let's go to the videotape.
Okay, can we see that?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, stay tuned. Coming up next, we have Barbara Parks with her Naturally Fine Models.
Oh, beautiful. Who's the first model, Barbara?
The first model is Helena, and she's wearing a jacket that's designed by Ralph. This jacket is made from mud cloth and linen. And as you can see, it's a jacket that can be worn with anything or by itself. It can be worn in the winter or in the spring.
Okay.
She's also wearing jewelry designed by Sarita. All of these, everything that we use is natural. So our models are wearing everything in the design that's natural.
See, I like this piece.
This is very nice. This is also a crop jacket made by Ralph, and this can be worn with a long or short skirt, can also be worn with slacks.
Okay.
The mask on the jacket is a part of his signature design. And she's also wearing jewelry designed by Sarita.
The next piece.
Next piece is Andrea, and Andrea is also wearing a jacket that's made from my cloth and linen. As you can see, the color scheme is very intricate because Ralph uses a lot of bright colors in his design.
I see.
Andrea is also wearing jewelry designed by Ralph.
Okay.
Okay.
Put that right behind you when you're finished.
Yeah. Oh, it came off. Okay.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now you have some artwork there that you.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay. Well, before we get to the artwork.
Okay.
That in terms of what we just saw here.
Yes.
It's arts and culture,
Yes.
and you also do, as was stated, current social issues.
Yes, I do. Because I think
Now, in terms of this piece, why did you choose to do the fashion show?
I choose to do fashion because to me art is everything. Art is fashion. Art is poetry. Art is singing. Art is, it's all aspect. So to me, it's a culmination. So art isn't just acting or it's everything. It's dancing, it's singing. So that's why.
What I noticed also that you said is that he is a local artist. He is a local designer.
He's actually, he's not from the States. He is from Africa. And he came here and he started a business. And I happened to meet him through Barbara Parks, because she would give shows relating to Rafe. And that's how I met him. And I was impressed with him. And I was impressed with his clothing. So that's really why I put him in here.
And you wear his clothes.
And I'm wearing them, yes. Yeah.
Now, you went into a bag while we were watching that, and you brought out some artwork.
Well, this is something, people think I'm crazy because in Photoshop you usually scan stuff in, but I decided to draw in Photoshop. And because I really love, can you guys see this? I hope it's not crooked. I really love poetry, art. Flowers. I'm crazy about flowers. So I decided to do this in Photoshop, and I made use of the filters that are in Photoshop for this. And I'm thinking down the road of cards. I love it. Cards. And it's the colors. I'm crazy about colors.
You are taking Photoshop.
No, I took the class
You have
here.
taken Photoshop.
Yes.
Now, usually people get very scared of a computer.
Okay.
And you are actually doing art with it.
Yeah.
Were you apprehensive at first?
Oh, of course. You know, but it's like, okay, what are we going to do here? I find that, even in taking the classes, it's all hands-on. You have to really get there hands-on, mess it up, see what it does, take it apart. Oh, this does this. Oops, what did I do? And that's the only way I feel that you can learn. So I'm fascinated.
Don't be afraid of it.
Definitely not.
Just jump right in.
Jump in. Even you're going to make errors, and if you don't make errors, then why are we here? Because we are so perfect.
All right.
You know.
Now your show, New Embers, when does it come on?
It comes on the first Wednesday of each month, and it comes on at 2 o'clock and at 10 o'clock. 35 Time Warner and 68 Cablevision.
Now we have another videotape of your show.
Okay.
What will
If
be
I'm
on
not
this
mistaken, that was dealing with Abner Louima. That was, I hadn't participated in a march in so long, but I was furious that any human being could treat another human being as such, and then to lie about it. At that time, maybe we didn't know, but I was so furious that I got out there and I marched, and it was a powerful thing.
And then you also did a show on it.
And I did a show on it, yeah.
Did you interview him?
Not Abner Louima, but I did interview his physician. I introduced Joycelyn Myers, and she's very well known within the Haitian community. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a Reverend Mark Keller from Emmanuel Baptist Church.
Okay, so let's see the videotape.
Okay.
Said before, it is not an isolated case.
That's what I was going to get to that
And
issue.
I am glad you are bringing it back, because the community should and must not forget.
They cannot forget.
Sure.
Because it could be me tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Because
Anybody
our
of
young
color.
men are
Absolutely.
targeted.
Yes.
It's not going to go away.
Yes.
It is with us. We should not lie to ourselves.
Right.
It is time we wake up and smell the coffee, because I am sick and tired of adults looking at one another in the eyes, smiling to one another, and lie to each other.
I always, I find this very, if I can find the right word, when you speak to even a person of color, some of them, about racial overtones, because it exists, but they're saying, oh, I never experienced it. And so I would like to really know, where have they been in the States where they have never experienced it, you know? But the young people, and you work with them, how often do they talk about this?
All the time. It's not how often they talk about it. I never stop talking about it because I do not want to forget it. We must not forget.
Never.
Because we are all,
That's right.
all targeted.
That's right.
We must talk about it.
And I must state this. I don't care if you come from Haiti. I don't care if you come from Africa. I don't care if you come from the islands. I don't care if you come from the States. When we are looked at, we are looked as one color across the board.
Never mind.
Okay. So, Theresa Payne, you ended that there by saying you don't care where anyone is from in terms of people of color. We're still one color.
Okay, at least once they come to the United States, they are one color. That's, that's all. Those are in power. That's all they see is a color. They don't care if you speak African. They don't care if you speak Portuguese or Spanish, or if you have an accent. If you're from the islands, they could care less. When they see you, that's all they see.
So even if you're from Portugal and you're black or a person of color,
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I must commend you. That was, from what I saw there, was beautiful. I love social issues.
Yes, I
and
do
I commend you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's go back to New Embers in the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. You said you started it as a playback.
Yeah.
And you were also in that distinct group of the first studio class,
Sure.
along with
Victor McDade, Monique Moore, Boom Boom, Bernice Brooks, oh God.
So all those folks, Monique Moore also was in?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have B-roll for something else that you're going to do.
I
What
think
is
the
that?
last B-roll, that was done here a few years ago, and it was Steppers.
Steppers.
I think I bought the first Steppers to be here.
What are steppers? Any particular type of steppers? Or the
They're
group?
high school, and they're, I forgot what the EBC stand for, but it's a school in Bushwick.
Okay.
And a young man was in charge of these students, and they're really good.
So can we see some stepping?
Yes,
Can
please.
we see
Please,
some
please.
stepping? All right.
I'm your host, Denise Sutton, and welcome to New Embers. We have a special treat for you. The art of stepping has been around for quite a while, and we have with us the EBC Bushwick High School Stepping Panthers, who will delight you with their fancy stepping feet. So just sit back and relax. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch the remote. We'll be right back with EBC. Guys, take it away.
What y'all came to do?
We came to tear it up!
Kick that beat, y'all!
Push! Break! Push! Break! You want us to break it down, but if we break it down, we gon' do nothing count.
Say what?
You want us to break it down, but if we break it down, we gon' do nothing count. Break it down.
Very nice, Theresa.
Thank you.
Now, what was very interesting about that is that the New York City school system has gotten rid of a lot of the music education over the years.
Yeah.
And the stepping as well as the rapping.
Yeah.
And the music of today, I think, is a direct result of the music being taken out of the curriculum.
Yes.
So you really motivated.
So what do you mean by that? You're saying it created another venue?
Yes, it did. It did, and I think stepping is part of it, along with rap.
The young people really, they go for it. They really enjoy it.
Yeah, they really do enjoy it.
They still do.
So music, the arts had to come out in some way, and it came out this
Exactly.
way.
Exactly. It's still an art. You see those feet going, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard them too.
Now, I've worked with you in the control room on different shows. And before we went to this videotape, we talked about that you were part of that initial class, studio class at BCAT. And in fact, you're seen by many as one of the seasoned producers. Mm-hmm. When there's a problem in the studio, you call a Theresa, you call a Boom Boom.
I have called Theresa.
Yes. You call a Victor McDade, and Gabe Pappas. Those are the people that do that. But I notice, I've watched the reaction on your face when you are designated for someone else's shoot as the director, and I sense a little reluctance.
Yeah.
Why, Theresa?
Over a period of time, I guess I am really a stickler for certain things. I like things a certain way, because that's how I was taught. Orville might have been there, but Antonio taught us. And everything had to be precise. The wires, the this, the that, everything. And some producers, if you just kind of hint off, so it's like, okay. And then I've seen shows, and the wires here, and this is there. I don't want, to be honest with you, I do not want my name on it. Okay, because to me, each time I shoot something, I am the worst critic of myself. I want to do better each time. I will listen to you if you say something. Hey, Theresa, Orville, anyone, I am open.
To making it a better production.
To make it a better production. And because I'm such a stickler, okay, for certain things, I'd rather have someone else do it, but then if I can help in any manner, camera, floor person, see, it doesn't matter to me, okay? I don't mind, okay? Because as I want my show to look good, anybody's show I work on, that's how I want their show to look.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Theresa Payne gives 110%.
Yeah, and I start getting agitated. Oh my God.
Now, you have some shows coming up for new members, and there's some really interesting shows. One has to do with her great aunt. Is it your great aunt?
It's my great aunt.
She's how old is she?
She's going to be 100 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that show. What you're going to do.
I'm trying. Actually, Stella kind of instilled. She planted an idea in my head that I think I'm going to go for. The last time I was home, which was last year, I started interviewing my great aunt. She tells marvelous stories. And I want to get the second part and make it a documentary, because she's talking about this great flood. I think, what great flood? What are you talking about? And how they had to. I want to know. How they, coming up, working for the man, so to speak, and some of the trials and tribulations. And one of them I thought was just so cute. At that time, if you worked in the house, but of course you worked in someone's house. Usually people work by the week, but she says, no. She says, no, because she's French, right? She says, no, I don't work for them. She says, you work by the day, you get paid more money. So, even back then it was there, but she's still well. She still had all of her faculties.
Is there a particular story that you want to share with us?
Oh, no.
Not yet. I
don't think I'm ready to share.
Not ready.
We were looking at some of these snippets that you had, that you've shown us, B-roll. So we call it B-roll.
Okay.
Going to the videotape. Over the years, what's one of your favorite shows? Can you think of one of them?
I always enjoy, yes. It's always the ones like Abdul Wima. And the other one I did was on foster care. And I had a judge from family court here. I had an attorney who worked for foster children. I had a young foster child, and I had a woman who grew up in foster care. And it was a powerful And the one who grew up in foster care, you can still see the residuals. She's still hurting, and she has to be close to 60 years old now. But it made such an impact on her, and that was really heartfelt.
Well, you know, your show is on arts and culture, and you say sometimes addresses social issues. But when I just asked you that question, the social issues seem to be so...
I love social issues.
I said that earlier also. I
Yeah.
love social issues.
You know, I've seen a lot, and I get so upset. So that's my way of bringing it out. And occasionally, in fact, oh God, how can I forget his name? Not Amadou, although I was out there for Amadou.
Yes,
I
I
have
was on the
footage of
marches
that
also,
too.
yes.
But the other young man that was killed after Amadou, Desmond, right? Dorismond, right. I went out there too. I have footage of that too.
No, you know, we had Victor McDade on the show, and I asked him a particular question. Having this venue, this option of showing certain things to the public, do you feel? I asked him, do you feel a responsibility? Do you feel something deep inside that?
I feel it's a responsibility. It has to be. So you know, it should be done at all times. Without any hesitation.
Without any hesitation.
What type of feedback have you gotten from some of your most powerful shows?
I've gotten good feedback.
Really?
You know, people enjoy that, and it's all in how you're presenting it. But most time, you just want to give them that information. You know, give them as much information. And with Abner Louima, why I did that is because I don't ever want anyone to forget what happened, because it can happen today. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen tonight to anyone, and especially to men and young boys of color. They are an endangered species, as I see it. So that's why I feel so much about that.
Now, Theresa also sings.
Oh,
Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
She's part of a choir.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, you
What choir are you a part of?
I'm a part of Emmanuel Baptist Church. It's Total Praise. The name of it is Total Praise.
And there's something very big that's going to happen with this choir. Come on. What are you going to do?
I can't wait. I hope it comes to pass. We were invited, the choir was invited to go to Ghana, Africa in 2002, February, to sing gospel music. So I'm looking forward to it. You must come and hear Total Praise.
If you invite me, I will definitely come.
They are awesome.
What's your position on the choir?
I'm just part of it. I sing tenor. Yeah.
And this will also be a show that we can see on New Amber.
I would love to start documenting it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, the whole preparation, because Pastor Hay, well, the pastor of the church is Trufant, Pastor Trufant, and of the music ministry is Pastor Hay. And he's going to work us to death. I know he will. But he wants us to do, basically, I think we're going to be doing a cappella. So you know that it's going to really be good. But
do you mind giving a plug in the address of this particular church?
It's on Lafayette.
Yes, Lafayette.
And St. James.
And St. James.
It's a landmark church, and it's really good. It's going through a lot of restoration right now, and it's really good. On Sundays there are 3 services. There's 7:30, 9:30, and 11:30. And 11:30 is basically for people who they're not really into it. They're trying to see what it's all about, and it's like an open door. And the church is just growing tremendously.
So I'll come at 11:30.
Oh, please. You'd be welcome, Orville.
Right.
You'd be totally welcome.
Thank you, Theresa.
Now, Theresa, you have 3 other poems here.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear one, if you could just say one of them.
And we're going to end the show with you. Will you please read
which one would
The
you?
Beggar Woman?
Okay. I'm going to have to read that.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Okay. It's beautiful.
If I can just say what happened. I was working in Manhattan, and I'd gone out for a walk at lunchtime, and I didn't take any money or anything, and I'm walking, and I saw this woman, and it struck me so profoundly that I came back and I was crying. of this, and that's what that came out of.
I just want to say we've been speaking with Theresa Payne, the producer of New Ambers.
One of the longest running producers on Big Cat.
And she's going to read a poem called The Beggar.
Woman.
She is petite, dressed in a brown shirt and black top. On her head, an old rib and knit cap. On the ground, pigeons peck at a soggy, wet pizza, somewhat still intact. She walks into their midst so quietly, never shooing them away. They made path. She speaks to them gently, almost coolly.